Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoint, and PlayStation have just announced the new PS Plus Extra and Premium games for this month, all dropping on July 21st. But don't forget, if you're not a PS Plus subscriber or you prefer actually owning your games, you can grab most of these on disc as well. But let me show you what new catalogue games we are getting in July 2026. And first up, we are getting Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora, so I kind of feel like they're pulling out all the stops to win us over this month. So this is Ubisoft's open world adventure set on the western frontier of Pandora. You play as a Na'vi raised by the RDA before returning to reconnect with your people. Now if you've watched the films, you'll instantly recognise the world, from flying across the skies on your Ikran to exploring all of these jungles. Gameplay mixes both first person combat, stealth, crafting and exploration, and then after launch they actually brought in a third person update as well, so you can decide to either play this first or third person depending on which you prefer. And you know what, visually this is one of the nicest looking games that we've had on the PS5. It scored around 72 on Metacritic, while a first playthrough takes about 25 to 30 hours. And if you want to go for the platinum, it's not too bad with a 4 out of 10 difficulty and will take you about 40 to 50 hours. And probably one of the biggest additions this month has got to be Rise of the Ronin on the PS5. So this is developed by Team Ninja, and this is an open world samurai action RPG set in Japan. And this is where you get to shape your own story as a wandering Ronin caught between rival factions. Combat is definitely the highlight here though, because it blends fast-paced sword fighting with guns, bows and different combat styles, while still carrying some of that challenge that Team Ninja are known for. Review-wise, it's sitting around 76 on Metacritic, with the main story taking about 25 to 30 hours. But if you want to go for the platinum, expect it to be about 50 to 60 hours and a difficulty of 4 out of 10. Oh, and you don't need to wait until July 21st for Rise of the Ronin because it's available right now in the US and UK. And brand new to the catalogue this month is Firefighting Simulator Ignite, and that's coming to the PS5. So instead of saving the world with guns or swords, you are responding to emergencies as part of a professional fire crew. Whether you're rescuing civilians or tackling huge building fires, everything here is built around teamwork and pretty realistic equipment. Now this is something totally different to anything I've played before, but if you like co-op games with friends, this could be one to look out for. For a first playthrough, you're looking at about 10 to 15 hours. If you want to go for the platinum, expect a 3 out of 10 difficulty and about 18 hours to do it. And if you fancy a bit of nostalgia this month, we've got Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind on PS4 and PS5. So this is a side-scrolling beat-em-up inspired by classic arcade games, complete with pixel art visuals and couch co-op. So perfect if you grew up watching the series back in the 90s. Now it's currently sitting at around 75 on Metacritic, while the campaign only lasts around 5 to 7 hours. The platinum is pretty straightforward as well, coming in at a 3 out of 10 difficulty and will take you about 12 to 15 hours. And if you've somehow never played Dying Light, now is definitely the time to give it a go. So this is the zombie parkour game that throws you into an infected city where movement is just as important as combat. Now during the day you're scavenging for supplies and completing missions, but once that sun goes down, that is when things get really terrifying. And the great thing is you can play this co-op or solo if you'd prefer. On Metacritic it holds an impressive 74, with a first playthrough taking about 20 hours. And then if you do go for the platinum, it is a lot more demanding, coming in about 100 hours to complete, with a difficulty of 8 out of 10. And you could say one of the hidden gems this month is Citizen Sleeper 2 Star Wars Vector on PS5. So this is a narrative sci-fi RPG where your decisions shape the story as you travel between space stations, recruit a crew and try to survive in this cyberpunk universe. It's also one of the highest rated games in the lineup today, sitting at 86 on Metacritic. For your first playthrough, expect it to take about 12 to 15 hours, but if you want full completion, expect about 20 hours. We've also got Snow Bros Wonderland on PS5, and this brings the classic arcade series into a full-on 3D for the first time. But it does still keep the family-friendly action while adding new levels, bosses and local multiplayer. Reviews landed about low 70s, while the first playthrough will take you about 6 to 10 hours. Now it's probably not the biggest game here today, but it's definitely one that feels like one of those fun games to jump into between the bigger releases. And then for premium subscribers, we've got 2 this month. The first one is the 2004 PS2 game PsyOps: The Mindgate Conspiracy, and this is a third-person action game which you could say was ahead of its time. You wake up as a soldier with no memory, but you've got these powerful psychic abilities. You can throw enemies across rooms, set them on fire, levitate objects and stuff like that. Now there's no Metacritic for the PS5 obviously, but the original game reviewed at 84 will take you around 8 hours to complete, and I'm sure we'll have some pretty achievable trophies for it too. And this is exactly the sort of game that I like seeing on Premium. And then secondly, we've got Indigo Prophecy. This originally launched back in 2005, and this is a cinematic thriller from Quantum Dream, where it follows multiple characters investigating a series of mysterious murders. It reviewed pretty well at launch, averaging 85 on Metacritic, while a first playthrough will take you about 8 to 10 hours, the full platinum will probably take you around 12 to 15. So there you have it, those are the new PS Plus Extra and Premium catalogue games dropping on July 21st. What do you think? Hopefully there are a few in here you'd like to play if you still have an active sub, but damn, it is not looking good for PlayStation right now, guys. I did actually cover the whole digital and physical news on my channel last week, and I'm currently in the process of making a big update video about it too, so keep an eye out for that soon. Otherwise, if you do like my videos, please drop a like, subscribe, and follow me everywhere. Until next time.